Right now we got a song named Wind Cries Mary. Thank you very much. We got a song named Wind Cries Mary. We got to keep it going real quick. Go something like this.
Hey everyone, Mike here from Mike's Bait Tackling Guitar Lessons. We've got a short Jimi Hendrix lesson today. We're learning a little bit of the rhythm section from the Wind Cries Mary, and also a few tricks to improvise around it. So let's get started. So before we start, I'm tuned down to E flat, so every string is tuned down a half step, and I'm using the neck pickup selector on my guitar. So starting off here, we're on the 6th fret, and we're holding the low E and the A string on the 6th, and at the same time we're holding the D string and the G string on the 8th. So we have this shape, and we're moving this shape, the same shape up just 3 frets. So from the 6th to the 7th to the 8th. So we have, and I give the strings just a hit here. He doesn't actually do that in the recording, I don't think. This is just to kind of make up for the drum section of the song. So after we have, now we're still on the 8th fret here. We just move our finger down to cover just the A string and the D string, and we're holding both these together. And while we do that, we're hammering onto just the A string on the 10th fret. So and we're letting the D string ring out. That's a double stop. So we have, and we're doing this kind of fast here, and we're moving the same shape up another 3 frets, starting on the 8th. So on the 8th, we have hammering onto the A here on the 10th. So again, that's just a double stop here, starting on the 8th, that we're moving up to the 10th fret. So, and we land here on the 10th fret of the A and the D string, hammering onto the 12th fret of just the A string, and we stay on this shape, and we just hit, what we're doing is, so we're just, after we do this, we just hit this one time, just the A and the D string on the 10th, and then after we hit that once, then we do another double stop, hammer onto just the A string, letting the D ring out. So after we have the, now we just move our first finger down to the D and the G string on the 10th fret still, and we hit that just once, and then now we do a hammer on from the D and G on the 10th fret to just the D on the 12th fret. So we have, and then we just go back to just hitting the D and the G on the 10th. So and then we just finish it off by doing the same double stop we started with, the 10th on the D and the G, hammering onto the 12th on just, or sorry, the 10th on the A and the D, hammering onto just the 12th on the A. So all that together slowly, we have, so after we have this little, we just slide it down to the 3rd fret on the A string, and then we make this chord shape. So we're 3rd on the A, we're holding the D, the G, and the B string on the 5th fret. So all we do is after we slide down, so I hit it once, and I kind of smack it another time, and then I just lightly hit it after that. So we have, and I just move the same shape down to the 1st fret, same strings we're holding here. So we have, I just play through it a little bit, and then we go right to, what is this, an F chord? We go right to this F here. So we're holding, I use my thumb here. I think that's easiest for basically all Hendrix songs because that's how he played. But so I'm holding my thumb on the 1st fret of the low E, and then I'm just doing this chord shape right here. So we have this finger's on the 3rd fret of the D string, this middle finger's on the 2nd fret of the G string, and then the 1st finger is covering the high, or the B and the high E string on the 1st fret. So we have, and what he's doing is, so after we have, what he's doing is he's playing the chord, and he's hammering on with his middle finger here to the G string on the 2nd fret. So we have, he just does that 3 times. So after that, we're just sliding from the 3rd to the 5th on the low E. So, and then we're hitting what we started with here, the 3rd fret of the A string. So we do the same, you know, play it, smack it, and then play it again lightly. So after we slide from the 3rd to the 5th on the low E, and we play this chord, so now we're doing another double stop from the A string and the D string on the 3rd fret, hammering onto just the A string on the 5th fret. So, and then I just hit the, after we have that double stop, I just hit the D string on the 3rd fret. So, and then after I hit that single note on the D string here, now I'm covering the D and the G string, and we're doing another double stop. So we have, and that's just from the D and the G string on the 3rd fret, hammering onto just the D on the 5th fret, letting the G ring out. So now we just go back to hitting just the D and the G on the 3rd fret. So, and then now we just finish with the double stop that we started with. So A and the D string on the 3rd fret, hammering onto just the A string on the 5th. So, and I kind of slide that down back to this F here. So, and we end that little phrase with what we're doing is hammering on from the, we're holding just the B and the high E here on the 1st fret, and we're hammering on to just the B on the B string on the 3rd fret while letting the high E ring out. So he hits that fast, and he just goes right back to just the B and the high E on the 1st. So, but since I'm already holding this chord right here, all I do is just hammer on with my pinky here on the B string because I'm already holding these 2 strings with this chord. So after that hammer on, we're back to the A string on the 3rd fret and the D, G, B on the 5th. So this time we're taking the same shape and we're just moving it down to the 2nd and then the 1st fret. So, and a possible thing you can do to improvise here is once you get down to here, so we have, and instead of just playing through that, we can do a quick hammer on again from the 3rd fret on the D and the G to just the 5th fret on the D, back to just the D and the G. So, and then we are back up to the A and the D string on the 3rd fret, and we just hammer onto the A on the 5th fret, and while letting the the D ring out. So we have and after we play through this a couple times, so we move this same shape we were doing here to the 3rd fret. So thumb on the low E on the 3rd fret, and then D string, G string, B and E string. So, and when we play through that, we're hammering onto the B string on the 5th fret while we do that, and we're pulling it off quick after that. So we have and we move this same shape up to the 6th fret, so do the same thing, and that's just playing through it a few times, and then pinky on the B, and then taking the pinky off the B. So, and we're back to exactly where we started, with the low E and the A being played on the 6th, and then the D and the G being played on the 8th. So, and we just move that same shape up 3 frets like we did at the very beginning of the song. So, and we just give it another mute, and we play that exact same section again. So we're back down to the 3rd fret. So. Another mute, and now we go to the double stops we did at the very beginning. So starting on the 8th fret of the A and the D string, so we're here, and we do the exact same lick we did at the very beginning, the so which is again just 10th to 12th on the A and the D, hammering onto the A, and then 10 to 12 on the D and the G, you know, hammering onto the D on the 12th. So. This time when we play through it, we basically play it the same way we did the first time, except this time, another improvisation thing you can do is when you get to here, instead of going down to the 1st fret right away here, we can just stay on this fret and do our little double stop lick that we did at the beginning, and then go right to that F immediately after that. So what this is just we're hitting the chord once, and then we have our double stops from the A and the D string on the 3rd fret, just hammering onto the A on the 5th. So. What we have is we just have a hammer on from the 3rd to 5th, and we just move down to the D and the G string on the 3rd fret. We hit those together, and then we hammer on from the D and the G on the 3rd fret to just the D on the 5th. So back to just the D and the G, and then back to our first double stop, the A and the D string on the 3rd fret to just the A on the 5th. So. We just go right down with our thumb on the low E string of the 1st fret, making this F. We do our hammer-ons there, hammering onto the G string on the 2nd fret while we're holding this F. So. And then you can do the slide again from 3rd to 5th on the low E. So. I just kind of, what I do is after I play this F, I just kind of mute it a little bit, and then I go right to the 3rd fret of the A string right here. So. After this part, that is just our same hammer-on from the A and the D string on the 3rd to the A on the 5th. So. just move our finger down to the D and the G on the third, hammer onto the D on the fifth. So back to just the D and the G, and then back to our first hammer on the A and the D to just the A string. So and then we're back to just our hammer on from the B and the high E to just the B on the third, letting the high E ring out. So. And then after that, he does something a little different here. He goes to the 8th fret, and we're holding the low E string on the 8th fret, and we're holding we're playing the D on the 10th fret, the G on the 9th fret, and then the B and the E on the 8th. So all that is just moving this shape down 3 frets. So, and then I kind of finish it with playing the I put my pinky on the high E of the 8th fret. So. And then after that, we're back to the same part we did earlier, the give the strings a hit, play it again. Back to our double stops. So this is the point of the song where he would go to the solo. Since I don't know the solo, I'll just go over a couple other things we can do to improvise around just the rhythm parts. So one thing we can do is, instead of playing these chords down here, we can actually play the same chords up here. And that's just the thumb on the low E of the 8th, the A and the D on the 10th, G on the 9th, and then B and the E on the 8th. So, and what we can do with that is, let's just say we're right here. So instead of playing these, we can kind of do everything up here, and that gives us a few other improvisation options. So that's just kind of a quick lesson. It's kind of a sloppy lesson, so if I missed anything or you need anything else covered, please put it down in the comment section. And until next time.